Okay. Gonna have to one-hand this here, but okay. So, final letters. So we got, there's five of them, all right? So we got five final letters, or, no, not Sophie, Sophit. All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. The first one is cough. So you know this one because you use it a lot when we're transliterating. Now, but if it ends a word, you put it like this. Under the line. Now you'll notice that when you're looking at a Siddur or in a Torah, it straight line and then it kind of goes down like that. Either one works, but most people do it like this. Either one of these are fine. You will eventually end up like this because, make sure you don't have to do the spitzel. You'll notice a lot of people don't do that either. I find it's useful. It's less likely to be confused with, I don't know, I think of what it is later. Make sure, though, you make enough of a line here, because in a minute we're going to get to the final noon, and if you make the final kaf too short or the final noon too long, they can get confused with each other. So you don't want that. So, all right, next one is mem. Now here's mem in its normal form. A little side note about that. There's one place in the Torah where there's a final mem right in the middle of a word. And there's a lot of talk about like why that's there and whatnot. But I don't want to get distracted because we're just, man, that's the one exception in all of Hebrew history, to my knowledge, and I don't think anyone fully agrees as to why that's there, but it's pretty much agreed it was done on purpose for whatever reason. Okay, but forget about that. I'm going to do final mem. So there's mem, makes an M sound. Here's final mem. You go like this, and then you go down like you're making a resh, and then you go up here, and then you connect. And you want to make sure to put the connect right before the spitzel so that you're almost making a box. So there's final mem. Now let's do noon. Noon, just like with English, M and N, mem and noon are right next to each other in the alphabet. Now, final noon is just like you're making a vav. Tiny little spitzel. You don't have to do a spitzel. Again, just like you don't have to do it here. But then you make like you're making a vav, but go under the line. That's it. And this is why it's important to make this the top of the noon short, or else it will be confused with the final kaf. So there you go. And also there is no in the block form, you don't have, with the case of the noon, you don't have this little extra overhang right here. It's really not any different. You go straight down and that's it. All right. Next we have pay. Now pay, you make like you're making a calf, and then you put a little foot underneath the head like it's a freak of nature, like that. So now we're going to now I will make another side note. Lest fear I am not distracting things too much. This is not final pay yet. You put the dagesh on there, it makes a p sound. If, again, this is not the final one. If you don't put one there, it makes a f sound, like in freak, fuck, fine, whatever. Now we're going to make the final form. It is just like you're making a final kaf, except you put a freak of nature foot on it, just like that. And you do the same thing. In this case, just another one. There's no overhang in the block form either. So, and these are these little tiny differences. Is there overhang in the block form or in the handwritten form? It's not important. It really isn't. So I wouldn't stress too much on it. This is just for when you're reading it. You might see the calf. See that? It's got a little overhang there in the corner. All right. It's not important. When people write it, they hardly ever do. I'm in the habit of typically doing it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's not important. Okay. Tadi. Tadi is the letter that goes tz. Doesn't exist in English. There's no equivalent, but it's TZ in English, in case you don't already know. Tadi, you start at the bottom and you make a 45, I'm a high school dropout, 45-degree angle. And then you make a spitzel and then connect it right in the middle. You can also, if you want, not even make a spitzel at all and just do that. It's up to you. Not important. Okay, now we're going to make the final one. This one is the one that is most people are sloppy with. And here's how it goes. Boom, and then straight down. Don't go that far down, but better to go too far down than not far enough. You make another spitzel and you connect it right there. That's it. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and, so there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 final letters. Let's do them one more time by themselves. Here's final kaf. Here is final mem. I'm going to make them real big over 2 lines. We're almost making a box. Final noon. Like yay. You also don't have to make it like curve at the bottom. That's actually just me being sloppy. Many people do. It's not proper. It's not improper. Who gives a shit? Okay. Now, here's final pay. Like yay. And final toddy. Like that. I think technically, again, it's not that important, but you connect it in the middle more right there. It's not important though. So there you go. I'm sending now.